that there is that part. There is the physical world, but there is very much the spiritual dimension of who we are and what we are. And
Absolutely, Sam.
and and I like to say that in the beginning, God created the atom, ATOM. Yes,
Yes.
He created ADAM, but He created the atom, and the atom is the basis of everything that we know. It all begins from that one
Hmm.
little bitty atom, and anyway, we can go from there. And so, in the last 40 years, the running got me off the farm, got me out of the backwoods, and here is I've had the opportunity to tell more than maybe 5 million kids just in the U.S. alone that anybody that tells you that you can't succeed, that you aren't smart enough, that you aren't pretty enough, or whatever that mess means, where we live and where we're born, that's just geography. If the body is indeed limited, the soul of a person is unlimited, the power and so forth. And we'll talk about that as we go on here. And you're part of that giving, bringing power to people and energizing people and so forth. But we're laying the format here, and we're building a foundation. You and I'm feeling good vibrations,
All of a sudden, you're going to be off running.
guys.
I'll be back in an hour. I got to go do 30 miles.
Amen. And but I received a letter in the mail in 1961, April of 61, offering me a one semester partial probationary scholarship worth $60. And I never thought about college. Didn't even know college. Didn't even know anything about it. And so they were starting a cross country team. And as I would come to find out later, about eligibility. They bring in a freshman, and we had that freshman season for me, and they predicted that I'd flunk out of college, and but they'd had me long enough. My high school principal, I see you drinking a cup of something there, and but I went to see my principal, and he was drinking a cup of coffee that morning. Had a plug of chewing tobacco on the side of his mouth. He could chew tobacco and drink coffee and never get the two mixed up with each other. Woohoo! But he looked at me and he said, "So you think you want to go to college?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure do. I sure do, Mr. Redden." He said, "Well, you got to be smart to go to college." He says, "Let's face it, you ain't got no sense." He said, "You got to be smart." He said, "Go join the Army." Back in those days, in 1961, there was a thing called the draft, DRAFT. And if you weren't disabled or you weren't going to college, your little Fanny was going, "Uncle Sam needs you, boy." And so he said, "Go join the Army, get that over with, come back and live on your daddy's farm, marry that little fuzzy headed girl I see you fooling around with." And he said, "If you try to do anything else, you're going to make a fool out of yourself." And this was the clincher, Steve. He said, "Let's face it, you're dumber than a poop house rat." And I stood there and I looked at him in my own little bitty Kentucky way at that time. I said, "I'll learn you, darn you. I'm going to learn you, darn you." And which is a way of saying,
Oh,
how
yeah. I'm going to show
dare,
you.
how dare you tell me I can't succeed? And so that's why I tell people, don't buy into these negative voices. God has a unique purpose. All of time has waited for Steve Lepkowski's to come on this earth, for Robert Shockey, for Stan Cottrell. All think of the countless eons, and the timing for our appearance is perfect. We're a threefold cord here. This is so powerful today, the three of us and our unique stories, and the people that are listening will listen to this, that they will be inspired. And my prayer is that you think you can't go any further, hogwash, baby. You got a whole, it's like my grandma told a group, she was getting married at 89 years old. Pappy had been dead 25 years, and she met this 96-year-old man, and he proposed marriage to her. Oh, they called in all the family. "Oh, mammy, you've lost your mind. He's too old. He's this and that." This is in my DNA. And she said, "Listen, you little bunch of sillies. If I want to get married, that's my business. And you're telling me he's too old? Let me tell you right now, you can't look at a bullfrog's butt and tell how far that thing can jump. So get out of my way and shut up." We all have a lot left in us and a lot of jump, that when we think that we've come to the end of ourselves, we have barely scratched the surface of potential. It's still
Stan,
living
you,
across the
oh,
United States.
you are so warm in my heart right now, because I have many people that contact me by phone and many people in my life. And one of the things that we talk about is, how do I know what's truth and what's not? And I said, you'll have joy in your heart when God's moving you and you're moving in the right direction. You'll have troubles in your heart. So if you're 5 or 50, if you do the things and your heart's warm, your prayers are more vivid and your connection is more vivid. And don't tell me you can't feel these frequencies. Don't tell me you can't feel that energy. Just open your mind up to it. And Stan, you're going to naturally migrate to the things that connect you to your God. Okay. You're going to naturally stay away from those things because they're negative, right? Satan is a negative thing. Okay. It's never a positive thing. He tries to seduce you with something that you perceive to be positive. But the reality is it's him. It's God driving you to the positive. So if there's issues in a relationship or in your job or in your wellness that you're not feeling great, start to look at things and try things to see if it's moving you in your heart in a positive direction. He's got the map for you. You just got to start reading the milepost, right? Turn left, turn right. Okay, talk to me tonight. Listen to me tonight. Okay, it's all there. The map is for us and he guides us. We just got to open up.